Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we finally got the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Now unfortunately I was not able to do a live reaction to this because I did have to go to school. Sucks, but hey, what can you do? But I'm gonna go over the video, go over the announcements, kind of just talk about the interesting things, the things that I thought were the coolest, and just kind of my thoughts on it. So let's just jump into it. First thing, I mean, they wasted no time at all jumping straight into Mario Kart here. So you'll see, first thing, no intro, anything really, other than the logo, but Mario Kart pops right in here. First thing I'm gonna say is that I just love the models in this game and how they look. Like, if you look at these characters, I think they look great. Come on. I mean, Yoshi right here, they got like the angry look on their face. Right back here, this looks really sick. I really like how this looks here. How instead of being like underwater in the track, you're actually kind of like on the water like a boat. I think I like this more than going underwater. Now, that's not to say that underwater areas are not still going to be in the game. But I really like this track, how it looks, how it's kind of like a boat course almost. It reminds me of the planet in Mario Galaxy where you were in like the water. It was kind of not a water slide, but like a big water track thing. That's kind of what it reminds me of. But I really like the way this looks. It just looks sick. We got the ski vehicle there. Also, it looks like instead of gliders, like parachutes, our cars are just going to turn into planes, which I think is also pretty cool. Another thing right here, this stage, this 25M from Donkey Kong, with kind of like a modern upgrade to it. There's like a rocket or something in the back there. I think this stage looks absolutely sick. Another track that caught my attention here is this one here. I think this is a Donkey Kong theme, if I'm not wrong. You guys could correct me in the comments, but I think this is Donkey Kong theme. But actually, maybe not, because why would there be a question mark block? But I thought these statue things here were kind of Donkey Kong. But either way, this track looks like, I think, one of my favorites from this whole video. Just kind of like this giant like ruins of a giant question mark block up here, I think is really cool. Alright, next thing here that caught my attention is the grinding on the rails here, kind of like a skateboard almost. You can jump up and kind of like I think it looks like you can do a mini turbo on the rails here, which I think is pretty cool. Also, this car, I really like the design on this car. It's like a magic carpet kind of with the little snakes here on the sides. I really like that car. I don't know what it is, but that really looks cool to me. Now, this section also looks crazy. I'm not too sure what we got going on with this track. It kind of reminds me of the 25M track from earlier. Maybe this is kind of like, you know, this area looks different from outside, but I don't know. But right here, you can actually wall jump from wall to wall. That's really cool. Also, right here, you can play as the cow from Moo Moo Meadows. Now, we'll see a little bit later, there's a lot of unique and kind of random out there characters that we saw in this trailer. But, I mean, come on. You can't ask for anything more than this. Also, right here, driving on some sort of zip line or something. I'm not sure exactly what that is. And then right after that, we have the Mega Mushroom is back. That's, I think, one of my favorite items from back in like Mario Kart Wii. I was kind of sad that it wasn't in Mario Kart 8, but we've got it back. Also, right here, I noticed this. It looks like we got a Hammer Bro throwing hammers as an item. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but that seems like maybe that could be doing something with like custom items, how they used to have it back in, I think, Double Dash. Where, like, if you're playing as Yoshi, you could pull, like, a Yoshi egg, and that's an item specific to Yoshi. Or I think maybe Mario had, like, fireballs. Bowser had, like, a Bowser shell, stuff like that. So I don't know if that's what's going on here, or if the hammer is just a new item. But I think that's really cool either way. I think the custom items would be really cool. But, I mean, I think we could live without it as well. But I think that would be a really cool addition. Alrighty, next we have Mario's gonna eat this giant cheeseburger, which I'm not 100% sure what we got going on here, but he eats the cheeseburger and then transforms into a different costume. So I'm not sure what the cheeseburger correlation is with that. But, I mean, the addition of costumes into Mario Karts. I mean, obviously we had it in Mario Kart Tour, but I think having that in, like, the mainline Mario Kart, I think that's really cool. Gonna add a lot of uniqueness and stuff. And some of these costumes are really nice. I mean, like this kimono Peach over here. That Bowser that they showed. This Waluigi I really like. But I mean, all these tracks and stuff that they're showing just look really good. I like that whale or whatever jumping out of the water. And then we got the big shot here. That looks like Peach's Castle. And then the big reveal there. Mario Kart World. This is an open world Mario Kart. This is insane. I never thought we would actually see the day where this was real. So you can see in the background here, each track is on this humongous map, and they're all part of the same map. So it looks like you're actually going to be able to drive from track to track, and they're all laid out on like this same kind of island right here. So you have like your different biomes. You have your snowy biome, you have your desert, you have like your lava Bowser area or whatever over here. There's kind of like a giant bridge over the water, I think is pretty cool. So you've got like your beach tracks and everything. It looks like, I think this is the 25M down in the bottom left over here. But yeah, I can't believe open world Mario Kart is actually here. That's crazy. So here's actually kind of a better look at the map here, which it doesn't have the logo stuck on it there. But you can see some really cool tracks that stand out. Like obviously Peach's Castle right here is going to be an important track. Whatever ice castle that is, maybe that's something going on with Rosalina up there. I'm not too sure. It looks like maybe like a DK jungle vibe going on up here. You got your lava mountain, where that's probably Bowser's Castle back here. Not sure what else. You got your desert area, your plains, like grassy areas. You've got another like water section over here. You've got your bridge. Whatever is going on up here in the top right, that looks pretty cool. Some sort of like amusement park or something. I'm not too sure. But yeah, this looks really cool. Just kind of a better look at the map without the logo in the way. Right here, we got a couple new tracks to look at. This area looks really cool, part of the open world. I think it just gives a good look on like the perspective and like the size of it, like how you're going up this giant mountain. And it looks like you might be able to actually fly off the top, which would be pretty cool if you could fly around the map a little bit. I think that'd be pretty cool. We got King Boo's outfit right here. I don't know what's going on. He looks like the Monopoly guy, but I really love that outfit. Also, different times and weather conditions is going to add different vibes and stuff to the map, which is really cool. And then if we pause right here, guys, this is where, like I said, we're going to see a lot more out there weird characters. You've got the bee, a crab, the little beetle guy. There's Nabbit, which is pretty cool. Spike is up there, it looks like. I'm not sure if there's anybody else interesting here. The penguin, of course. But yeah, I think that's really interesting. I could kind of see, I'm not sure if those are all going to be playable characters. I could kind of see them doing something like those are just NPC characters that kind of fill in like the extra spots, since there's gonna be 24 racers. Maybe it's not, they only use like 12 normal characters and then kind of fill it in with some of the like the NPC characters. I could see that, but I could also see them all just being playable. Like you can just play whoever you want in Mario Kart, really, which I think would be interesting either way. And then of course they show right here you can drive anywhere. So I'll let this play for a second here. But you have your 4 tracks like always in a Grand Prix. But so in between the tracks, you're actually going to drive to the next course. So that's kind of part of the open world. So it looks like the open world is actually going to be incorporated into like the main Grand Prix mode, which is pretty interesting. I'm kind of curious if there's going to be like a mode without the open world and a mode with it. Because, I mean, I'm a big fan of the open world idea, but I could kind of see it getting a little annoying maybe, or just kind of not wanting to have that as part of it, for maybe like just an option to have it, which I think might be kind of nice. But kind of look at some more costumes here too. This Bowser costume looks really cool. And also the item boxes, I think, look kind of neat too. So they showed a new mode here, Knockout Tour. I'm not going to go too deep into this right now because I don't want to stay only on Mario Kart. I mean, there's so much in this Mario Kart trailer alone that it could be like its whole own video. But like this knockout tour where it's kind of like a battle royale type thing, I think, where you have to be like the last one standing. And then also the free roam here. I like that pose, Mario, with the drink there. But this is more of the driving around the open world here, which looks really cool. I mean, the map looks really good. Here's kind of like the desert area. There's a bridge with a river here. And you can drive around with your friends and take pictures, which is pretty cool. I think that's really just charming and unique. And then here's just a quick look at kind of like the promotional art for it, which this picture looks really sick. The map looks huge in the background, and you've got all these characters driving here. Like you've got Goombas driving, you've got this guy, you've got Donkey Kong eating his cheeseburger, you've got the penguin back here. So you've kind of just got a lot of that here, which I think is pretty cool. And they actually showed this, which is pretty interesting, that there's going to be an entire direct dedicated for Mario Kart World in just a couple weeks, actually, April 17th. And we're going to get a whole direct just for this new Mario Kart game, which I'm really excited for because this game looks huge. It looks awesome. But there's one thing we need to talk about. Mario Kart World is going to be MSRP at $80, guys. $80 for Mario Kart. If I'm being completely honest, that's crazy. And I think they're saying that's for the digital version. If you want a physical copy of Mario Kart World, it's going to run you about 90 bucks. 90 smackaroonies for Mario Kart, guys. Now, I will say, if you're looking at just the console alone here, $450 MSRP. And with the Mario Kart bundle, it's going to be $500, so only $50 more for the game, which I think kind of makes that a little better, but still $90 or $80 even for Mario Kart is crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, I'm an adult. A lot of people who watch the directs and stuff are probably mainly adults, but I mean, this is a kid's game. $80, it's kind of crazy, man. I don't know. Hopefully, you know, Nintendo will see a lot of the backlash from this, and we still have a little bit before this comes out. Maybe they'll drop it. I don't know. But $80 is just crazy. Which I think it does look pretty cool. One thing I'm going to say is that the screen sharing that they showed, so you can actually share your screen on the screen like with your friends, which it looks really laggy and really choppy from what they showed in the trailer. Maybe that will be better when it comes out. I don't know. But it does, like, maybe it's not the biggest deal in the world because it's their screen and you kind of get the idea, but I don't know, I think it just looks kind of bad, especially with the power that they were kind of showcasing and everything else. I think the coolest part about this voice chat, though, is the kind of the camera feature that's built into here. Well, I guess the camera comes separate, but you can actually have your camera set up to put you on the screen with your game also. So you can kind of do that, and where they showcase that really cool, I think, is with the Mario Party, where your face actually follows your character, so you can kind of see what your friends are doing, like while you play Mario Kart or Mario Party. Sorry, I think that's kind of the coolest part of it. But the camera is an extra $50 to buy separate from the Switch, which I'm assuming they won't use third-party cameras because it probably has to work with the Switch and all that. So another $50 is maybe a little steep, but I mean, maybe it's worth it, but I don't know yet. Next thing they showed is kind of the game share feature, which is really similar to a DS download play from the DS and like the 3DS, where you can actually play with your friends on some certain games if they don't actually have the game. So they kind of showed off like this Clubhouse game here. So if you want to play cards or whatever, your friends don't actually have to have the game, and they can play with you on their systems locally, which is really similar to like the download play on the DS, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know how many games it will be able to be used for, but I think just having it as an option will be probably pretty nice. All right, right here, guys, 120 FPS on the Switch 2. That's amazing. What can I say? That's amazing. Nothing short of very, very nice. They're finally catching up, I think, to PS5, Xbox, No, obviously those are older systems, and this is a newer one, which is still at 120. But I mean, 120 on the go is really, really nice. Also, in the dock, Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be running at 4K resolution, which is very, very nice. This is what we were asking for, a powerful Nintendo system, and we finally have it. 4K 120 FPS, which I don't think you can run together. It'll probably be 4K 60 FPS, but still, you can do either. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know if it's going to be running at 4K 120. I know they showed with Metroid Prime 4 specifically, it was either 4K 60 or I think 1080p with the 120 FPS, which is still nice either way. And then they kind of got into this here, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which looks like a tech demo for the new system. So you're kind of like a little dude running around here on like a big Nintendo Switch. And you can go up to like all these little things and it'll give you like secrets and show off like some of the features and stuff. And there is mini games, like there's this golfing mini game, this UFO, these maracas. So it kind of looks like Wii Play back on the Wii. It looks really similar to that with like there's mini games and stuff like that. Just show off like some of the features and stuff from the new system. And then another big thing they showed here is that we're going to be getting upgraded editions of Nintendo Switch 1 games for the Nintendo Switch 2. And some games like Mario Party Jamboree right here are actually going to have like almost DLC included with that. So they showed off like there's going to be a lot of new mini games that utilize like this camera and stuff like that. There's like mic mini games because there's a built-in mic to the system, so there's like mic mini games. With the mouse controls, they're going to have mini games that utilize that, and just like some new modes and stuff, which is pretty cool. And then they showed that if you own the version on the current Nintendo Switch, there's actually going to be an upgrade pack available, so you don't have to buy the entirely new game, which is really nice. Again, we're talking about $70 games on the Nintendo Switch 2, so this is going to help mitigate a little bit of that spending on the games. And also right here, where's it at? It looks like they are, if you have Nintendo Switch Online and you own the Nintendo Switch 1 version of the game, you're actually going to be getting a free upgrade pack, so you don't even need to pay for the upgrade pack, and you're going to be getting the new version of the game for free, essentially, which is really, really nice. And then they showed off with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are going to be getting these upgraded versions that are going to run at these higher resolutions, run at these higher frame rates. And let me make sure my stream is, yeah, we're in 4K right here. But look how good this looks, guys. They got Korok Forest right there to run really smoothly. This looks amazing. I'm definitely going to have to replay these games on the new console because it just looks so much better. And then they also showed off Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition, and looks like there's going to be essentially some DLC for that one as well. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which I think we kind of all assumed that it's essentially going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 game. Kind of like Breath of the Wild was essentially a Switch 1 game, but it kind of released on the Wii U too. But I mean, this is basically a Switch 2 game, I would say. And then I was super excited to see this, guys. Pokemon ZA. Look at this frame rate and resolution right here. This game looks so good, especially when this little Mega Evolution happens right here. Guys, it looks so good. Like, going from Scarlet and Violet's horrendous graphics and frame rates and bugginess, all that. Now, I know we haven't actually got our hands on this game yet, but just from the trailer, it looks so much better. I mean, look at those effects. Running in great resolutions, great frame rates. That's so good to see. And then the next game they showed off actually looks really interesting. It's basically a kind of a version of Rocket League that you use the mouse controls on your Joy-Cons to kind of control your wheels and shoot the ball, which I think looks like it could be pretty fun. Similar to ARMS, I think maybe how it might be pretty cool, but not something that you're going to be playing every day. But I think it definitely looks fun to try out. I think, you know, having like the controls be doing this and all this would be really fun. But one downside I see of that is you need a pair of Joy-Cons for one person. So if you're looking at playing this with one of your buddies on launch day, you're gonna have to buy a whole new set of Joy-Cons, which does suck. But I mean, I guess it's kind of made maybe for just one player on the launch system. But I think it looks fun to try out at least. And then I'm not gonna go over all the third-party games right here, but what I'm gonna say is so many demanding like third-party games were shown off, like Elden Ring, Hades, Street Fighter 6, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, a new GoldenEye they showed off. So many third-party games that they're basically saying Nintendo Switch 2 is a legit gaming console. You can play legit third-party demanding games on here at high frame rates and high resolutions, and you don't really have to worry about it being like really worse in performance than the other consoles. And then we're going to be getting a new Hyrule Warriors game on Nintendo Switch 2. Age of Imprisonment is what they're calling it. So it's kind of like when Zelda went back in time. It's during that time period. So I think this looks pretty good. I actually haven't played the Hyrule Warriors games, which I really do want to. But yeah, I'm excited for this. This looks really good. And then what I think might be the second or third biggest announcement from this Direct is that we're getting GameCube games on Nintendo Switch Online. Finally, guys. We finally got them. We've been asking for this for a while, and now we're finally getting them. And I mean, the first one they showed off is probably one of the biggest ones here. We're getting Wind Waker on the Switch. I know it's not a full remake or remaster or whatever, but at least we can play it. Soul Calibur right here, the version with Link playable, that's really, really cool to have access to. F-Zero GX, that's really cool. And they showed off a few more. Mario Sunshine, Gale of Darkness, Strikers, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon Coliseum, and a Nintendo Switch Online GameCube controller as well, which is pretty cool. I think this is really, really big because I don't know if you guys, how much you look at like old Nintendo games and stuff, but if you're looking at getting your hands on GameCube games like Wind Waker especially, they are super, super expensive. Like you're paying like $80 for a copy of Wind Waker basically. So having access to these games is really, really huge. And then they went through a lot of more third-party games, new Borderlands, Civ 7, stuff like that on the Nintendo Switch 2. Nothing I'm really, really super like excited about. They showed off this new game right here. What was it called? So it's called The Dusk Bloods is what they're calling it. And it's exclusive to Nintendo Switch, so that's pretty cool. Kind of like a Nintendo exclusive game. And then next up, guys, this announcement is massive. Kirby Air Riders, a sequel to Kirby Air Ride. They actually did it. This is insane, guys. I didn't think they would do this. But this game looks awesome. They didn't show too much really, but from what they did show, it looks really good, and I'm excited for a sequel. And then for the final reveal of the Direct, we're getting a brand new 3D Donkey Kong. I'm gonna throw this in 2x speed real quick because I don't want to go super into detail on this. But I'll just let this play out. I just want to say the graphics on this game look really, really good. The worlds look awesome. DK's design, we're going with like the design from the Mario movie, which I think is really nice. I like it. But yeah, these worlds look really cool. The traversal, how you can interact with the terrain and like break it and kind of like explore through the mountains and stuff like that looks really sick. The gameplay looks really fun. Walk around and just smash stuff, kind of like how you would expect Donkey Kong to run around these worlds. You got your barrels. Looks like there's gonna be some 2D sections here. But I mean, yeah, these worlds look awesome. This is basically going to be Mario Odyssey, but for Donkey Kong. And we haven't really had a Donkey Kong game like this before, which I think is really awesome. So I'm super excited to get my hands on this and see what it's going to be like. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is what it's called there. And there's the release date. So July 17th for the release date. So it's not going to be a launch title with the Nintendo Switch, but pretty close. Still going to be in that summer window. And then speaking of launch titles, here's all the launch titles we have confirmed currently. So we have Mario Kart World, of course, Cyberpunk 2077, which I didn't mention, but that's a huge game to get on the Nintendo Switch 2. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 editions we're going to be getting at launch. Deltarune, Fortnite, Civ 7, Tetris, Street Fighter 6 is pretty cool, and then Hogwarts Legacy. So on the Nintendo side, not a whole ton so far yet. I kind of think maybe we might get one more. I'm not 100% sure. The Welcome Tour as well, like the tech demo thing. But I think this might be enough. Mario Kart, and then the tech demo, you got this, and you got all your third-party stuff as well. And then here's kind of another list of just upcoming games that aren't going to be launch titles, but just confirmed games. So the Donkey Kong game we just looked at, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Hyrule Warriors, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Professor Layton, Kirby Air Riders, Elden Ring, Star Wars Outlaws, Borderlands. They mentioned like the WWE, the Madden, stuff like that. So here's just more games. Aren't going to be launch titles, but they are confirmed. And then I just kind of wanted to go over a couple extra things here at the end. This is what the boxes are going to look like for the Nintendo Switch 2, which, to be honest, I'm not a fan of yet. Maybe once I see them in person, I'll like them a little more, but the red, I think, is kind of a little distracting. I know Nintendo is their red. That's what their color is. But I'm not sure how I like it on the boxes here. And then lastly, we actually got confirmation on what the UI is going to look like. So really, really similar to the Switch 1. Basically the exact same layout, which you have like a chat option here, which that's what the C button over here is for, as well as for like the chat menu. They haven't confirmed themes yet, which I really do hope we still get. But yeah, really similar to the Nintendo Switch 1 UI, which you have a couple more options here. Looks like this is going to be those digital game cards that they announced. I'm not sure what this one is for here. That might be the download play option, or the game share, I think is what they called it. Oh yeah, also, I don't even think I technically mentioned it. June 5th is the release date for the Nintendo Switch 2, so that's super cool to get. Now we know exactly when we're going to be shelling out our money, to be honest. The $450 price point, I've seen people complain about a little bit, which I think the $450 price point for the console is honestly fine. You asked for 4K, 120 FPS, and this is what you're going to be paying if you want that. Especially being on like a portable console with those specs, you're going to be paying a little more. And then the $500 for the Mario Kart bundle as well. Alright, but I think that's going to do that for us today. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you guys think? What was your most excited moment from the Direct today? I'll see you guys next time. Peace.